Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. D.Candaux is a third-generation watchmaker. His godfather is Philippe Dufour. He is both a watchmaker and engineer, and out of his converted farm in the village of Le Solia in the Vallée du Joux, he makes about 6 to 18 watches per year, of which the 1740 piece unique is one. This is the 1740 piece unique from D.Candaux, a member of the AHCI. He's among the cool kids, the independent watchmakers like Marco Lang, Vianney Halter, F.P. Journe, Kari Voutilainen, and Philippe Dufour, who are part of the AHCI. This model, the 1740, is the first he has constructed under his own name. He's also made watches for Fonderie 47, Baudelaire, MB&F, and of course Jaeger-LeCoultre, where he worked on striking watches like the Grande Sonnerie. So you know where this watch is coming from. This is a purist's expression of a tourbillon built with a modern style in Vallée du Joux tradition. Now, taking a look at its size, in bronze, the watch is 43 millimeters in diameter. It measures 12.7 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 52.9 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. This piece unique wears easily on my wrist of 16 centimeters circumference. My wrist wears it well because the lugs are dramatically shaped. You can see how they wrap around the wrist. So even if your wrist is 15 centimeters circumference, you got a good chance of wearing this one well. It's flatter than you think, and it sits easily on the wrist. Though in bronze, it's neither the heaviest nor the lightest material. You won't get the feeling that the watch is unnervingly light as you would on some of the titanium models. Now, taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, here we have a textile sort of weave on the strap. On the bottom, you can see it is an Alcantara-like suede material. The remainder of the strap appears to be a sort of a textile weave with a white coloration, a little bit of a bolstering, a binding stitch that is monotone, and then a buckle that is double deployant. Now you can see it is a twin trigger double deployant, so it's not just going to pop open. You'll also note that it has a golden hand-finished plaque bolted in, which is nice to see. It is a double deployant, which means that you have a somewhat lower chance of pinching a small wrist. The clasp, as you can see, is made of titanium. Now, taking a look at the case, you can see it is a rather subdued, media-blasted bronze. It has a little bit of burnishing. As you can see, there are highlights at some of the hard points, like the seams of the case, the tips of metal, the ends of the lugs, and the lug profiles. We also have external polished assembly bolts. The watch has a wonderful machine-age aesthetic to it, though it's also fluid and organic in some respects. We have here the Magic Crown, which is a 31-piece patented device that allows you to quite easily get up to speed setting the watch if you wish to set it, or winding the watch if you wish to wind it. It functions at 3 different levels: retracted, winding, and setting. Now, the timepiece, of course, has a lovely little knurling on the side of the crown that it makes it very easy to grip it and rip it when you want to set the time. It retracts so it can't get damaged, and then we have a dial that is made of mother of pearl. You can see there is a rose gold bezel framing the dial as well as the sub-registers. Now, this is the 1740, not the later DC6. You know that because it features center seconds rather than using the tourbillon as the seconds indicator. Another little rose gold plaque. You have the symbol, the bear of D.Candaux, and then you have a power reserve indicator. The manual wind movement has a 55-hour power reserve. You can see that the hand has been rolled on a miniature roller, and that the dial itself is actually sloped at 3 degrees from the horizontal, and the tourbillon is sloped at 30 degrees. The idea of angling twice, in addition to being a technical challenge, is to create a movement that is more likely to even out the effects of gravity by displacing the balance and the escapement through many different orientations with respect to gravity. Now, the balance itself sits within an entirely hand-finished structure. You can see there are no fewer than 6 interior angles on the upper part of the tourbillon cage. It is a flying tourbillon with no upper bridge to block your view. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It's free sprung, adjusted in 6 positions, and it has an overcoil hairspring, so that helps to further improve the timekeeping in any position. If you look carefully, you can see there's a little driving wheel, or I should say driven wheel, at the base of the tourbillon. That includes the technical specifications that would allow a master watchmaker to bring this watch back to good repair, even in the decades to come after Mr. Candaux has retired or passed on. This watch will always be serviceable by a qualified master watchmaker, and that is important to David Candaux. He is an engineer as well as a watchmaker, which means he didn't just design it and build it. He engineered specific components like the architecture of the escapement and the design of the variable polar moment balance. Now, the movement is different than standard 1740s and also different than what you'll see on, for example, the DC6. Rather than Côte du Soleil, we have here media-blasted grade 5 titanium bridges and plates. That's right, the movement is made of titanium. We have these bright polished bridges that have mirrored bevels, but so do the media-blasted bridges. You can see all of them are beautifully hand-beveled on their side, and there are no fewer than 23 interior angles across this 47-jewel movement. It's caliber 1740. That was the year the first documented watchmaker took up practice in the Vallée du Jeu, and whereas David Candaux normally puts a number plate on the movement, because this is one of one and a piece unique, he just put the gold numbering plate and then a brilliant cut diamond on top of that. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com if you love this watch. It is 30 meters water resistant, so don't take it swimming, but in every other regard, this is designed to be your everyday tourbillon timepiece. Again, reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing.